Elon Musk has been credited with finding solutions to some of the problems that we face today and in the future. For instance, once his company will have 100 gigafactories, what happens if it can power the entire world? This and more in this video, so make sure to stay tuned until the end. But before we get into the video, if you're new here, please press the bell button to stay up to date and hold on tight because we are going on a very informational journey. Gigafactories like Tesla's make lithium-ion batteries, which include Tesla vehicles and alternative energy sources, and they also provide low-cost batteries. Tesla's CEO and founder, Elon Musk, stated in a recent video, "We did the calculations to figure out what it would take to transition the whole world to sustainable energy. You'd need 100 gigafactories." At the Gigafactory, Leonardo DiCaprio met with Elon Musk to discuss renewable energy and the future of energy as it pertains to climate change. This is because Leonardo DiCaprio is no stranger to discussing alternative energy and climate change. It was in fact in his first Oscar acceptance speech that he highlighted the dire consequences of climate change and a warming planet. Gigafactory has one of its main goals to reach and maintain net zero energy generation. Leading the sector in advancement and innovation, they anticipate that by 2018, the Gigafactory will reach full capacity and produce more lithium-ion batteries annually that were produced worldwide in 2013. In addition to driving down the cost of batteries, the Gigafactory also wants to encourage the use of alternative energy sources financially. Currently, the world is facing a lot of problems. It is on top of the other problems we face. For instance, as part of the effort to cut carbon emissions, many governments have announced dates when they plan to ban sales of new diesel and petrol vehicles, encouraging them to move to electric ones. Battery-powered cars need massive batteries like these, which are produced by massive gigafactories like Elon Musk's Tesla, and quite a bit more. Aside from this, almost every new car in the future will be an electric vehicle, so we need to increase our capacity to produce batteries. It is now imperative that construction get good at building gigafactories and doing it quickly. Again, we are very much dependent upon this industry to make the planet progress in the future. Approximately 1/5 of all CO2 emissions are generated by transportation, and road vehicles are the worst offenders, so the shift towards electric vehicles must be made soon. And we should use more public transportation, use 15-minute cities, build more sustainably, rethink air travel, turn cities green, recycle more, and listen to David Attenborough when he said, "What happens next is up to every one of us." However, it is said that before we are able to purchase electric cars soon, there are still many hurdles to cross. Meanwhile, a lot of people are not yet convinced of the benefits of these devices. They're expensive, and there aren't enough places to charge for them. All of those problems are slowly being addressed, but the issue of battery production capacity is one of the most pressing. Since electric vehicles run on batteries rather than internal combustion engines, you probably already know this, it's not AA batteries. The lithium-ion batteries that power electric vehicles are much more advanced. Thus, it is necessary to make more electric cars if we are going to see an electric car revolution. It is predicted that the global demand for electric vehicles will exceed that for normal cars in just 15 years. Thus, the need to increase battery production sixfold by 2030. There is some good news, however. As the market matures, the cost of owning an electric vehicle should decline and making owning it more affordable. As part of that process, we need to build completely new and more kinds of manufacturing facilities known as gigafactories of Tesla. So, having heard of Tesla, you've probably already heard of this term. Elon Musk, Tesla's CEO, used the word giga to denote the company's original goal of producing 35 gigawatt-hours of battery capacity each year. While the factory refers to the factory, building these factories will make a real difference in the shift to electric vehicles if the world is to switch to electric cars in time. Forget about shopping malls or fossil fuel power plants. The construction industry is now in dire need of developing these factories. So, where are the gigafactories that are already existing? Also, what lesson can we learn from them? Tesla now has several awards under its belt, so you won't be surprised. The company has 2 more gigafactories operating in New York and Shanghai, in addition to its Nevada facility. Then, there are 2 more in operation in Texas and Berlin right now. Using prefabricated parts, a standardized approach, and digital technologies, the company has been able to build these at breakneck speed. Furthermore, they're getting faster with them, taking advantage of the lessons they've learned from previous builds and continuously streamlining their procedures. It is easy to expand Tesla's factories, and the factories are built and designed in a way that makes it convenient to add expansions as Tesla's demand grows. Meanwhile, Tesla isn't the only company constructing gigafactories as they are widely spread. Even though the US firm is currently at the top of the list of electric car manufacturers, Large parts of the world's batteries are made in China alone. Roughly 70% of them. Currently, most of the activity is taking place in Europe. Several technology companies have established themselves in an attempt to capture a share of this lucrative market and challenge Tesla. In general, this represents good news for those working in the construction industry and electric cars. Although the continent already has a few gigafactories, among them LG Chem's one in Poland and Korean manufacturer SK Innovation in Hungary, things have recently intensified. In fact, the Swedish company Northvolt, which was founded by two former Tesla employees, which is a bit strange, may prove to be one of the biggest threats to the big batteries currently in existence. Thus, a brand new production plant will be built in Skellefteå, a small town outside the Arctic Circle in northern Sweden, and the startup company is based near Stockholm. A fully functional Northvolt ET will cover more than 500,000 square meters and is described by the company as Europe's first homegrown gigafactory. The company begins to plan production by the end of 2021, and it will provide a quarter of Europe's battery requirement, enough to power 300,000 cars per year in the first phase. This will then rise to 1 million cars a year in the future. Northvolt has already signed a 10-year battery supply agreement with Volkswagen, and it has teamed up with Volvo in an attempt to establish a new R&D center. In addition, truck and bus giant Scania is investing heavily in the company. Not only is the company doing its part to save the environment, but they're trying to design the greenest batteries on Earth. It is also planning to recycle batteries on site in the future. In part, the factory will generate hydroelectric energy by using the nearby river. Raw materials will often be locally sourced, and some of the machinery will be powered by hydroelectric energy produced nearby. We welcome this because even though gigafactories enable electric car travel, whether they are built or run by renewable energy isn't a valid reason to not build them sustainably and use renewable energy. And there have been a few examples of gigafactories doing such a thing, if any at all. There are sustainable building techniques, renewable energy can be generated, and these projects have extremely large budgets. Chinese industrial giant SVolt is investing $2.4 billion in 2 new facilities on the German-French border, which include a state-of-the-art cell factory with a 24 gigawatt-hour capacity. After acquiring the land in April 2021, the UK's first gigafactory is also slated to begin construction on the site of a former power station in Northumberland. Another startup, Britishvolt, is building the $3.6 billion power plant, which is expected to supply batteries for 300,000 electric vehicles annually by 2027. Another automaker, Nissan, has also announced plans to build a $1.4 billion gigafactory in the region near its Sunderland plant. In addition to these developments, there are currently at least 20 or more gigafactories being built across Europe. However, the problem with construction is not just with whole new buildings. As automakers revamp their factories, they are shutting down their petrol and diesel production lines and replacing them with electric assembly lines. Or they may even turn traditional factories into gigafactories, like Mercedes. Volkswagen converted its immense Zwickau factory to electric in 2019, and now it's doing the same in Emden, where it plans to build all of its electric vehicles one day. This is an important point. If more and more countries keep threatening to ban diesel and petrol vehicles by the end of the decade, they'll be forced to close down majority of car factories or convert them to electric ones. This is a huge market sector for construction that wasn't even there a few years ago, and it's something construction professionals are expected to know now. And a gigafactory is almost certainly involved with the Tesla era. Also, as a result, it is said that no fossil fuel is needed. In addition, it is also said that Tesla and Elon Musk have power over everything in the world. Not to mention, Musk is the world's richest man. He can do anything. Then, it could be the war over other gigafactories, not over other resources, because some companies will hasten to build gigafactories. It is even said that some nations might even wish to destroy them to sell their resources. So, allowing Musk to have so much power of the world would be a great idea. What can you say about this? Let us know your guesses in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe with post notifications so you don't miss out on Tesla era.